Hello and welcome to this book launch celebration of our book entitled You Matter, How Women Reclaiming Their Power Are Changing the World. My name is Maria Magdalena Heinrich, and I have the honor and pleasure today to host this event as I'm the initiator of this book project that I launched in June with a group of 20 other inspiring women leaders that are changing the world in their own way. And the book is written by these 20 women working collaboratively to tell their stories in different voices, but with the same message: you matter. So each author, and today you will meet many of them here, wrote their own chapter of about 3,000 words. It has been an incredible journey, and I'm so happy to see so many of you. Welcome to everyone from everywhere in the world. We have all time zones represented here, from 3 in the morning, hi Silja, to evening, and it's just incredible. So today here with me hosting this event is my dear friend, or better said, as she likes to say it, ink blood sister, Danijela Milic, who from the very start was part of this adventure, as publishing a book was her dream that emerged in a dreaming session that we held at the beginning of the year for our women's informal network. Thank you, Danijela, for being such an enthusiastic partner in this adventure. Over to you, Danijela.
Hello, everybody, and thank you, Marilena. Thank you, everybody, for being here. As Marilena mentioned, this book, today we're celebrating the birth of our book. This book is published in English, and it's a collection of stories of personal evolution of 20 women leaders from all around the globe, and many of us are on the call today. We represent a variety of backgrounds so that readers worldwide, both women, girls, but also men, can relate and discover themselves in these stories. And so they can also discover their daughters, their future leaders. So we represent, either by origin or nationality, or where we live or serve, or where our chapter was born, many, like 26 different countries. I will not read them all here, but I will mention a few. We have Austria and Uganda and St. Vincent and the Grenadines and the Caribbean and India and Montenegro and United States of America. And I think this is where our strength lies. We hope that those of you who will be reading it will find a little gold nugget of that in the book. Marilena, today we also think of our sisters who are in dangerous situations, and like our sister Letty, who is going through a difficult situation in Ethiopia. So we also pray for their peace and for unity everywhere. So Marilena, over to you for the next piece.
Thank you so much, Danijela. Indeed, the diversity of our authors is really incredible. And this is also represented in the Women's Informal Network. And today I have the pleasure of having our founder here, Chitra Deshpande, and you can see from her background in Zoom, she's the founder of the Women's Informal Network. She founded it in 2016, and she works for IFAD. Chitra, welcome here today. What does it mean to you that this project, this book, basically stems from an idea that emerged through the Women's Informal Network?
Thank you, Marilena. Well, I mean, I'm so proud of all of you and so many of our women leaders and members who started this project. And really thank you for letting me be a part of today's launch. I'm really honored to be part of it. And although I didn't write a chapter, multi-author book, I feel that I contributed somewhat to its conception. So, just to share, I think the journey started a year ago, actually. And at the end of last year, the women leaders from Rome and New York, we were brainstorming about working together and holding a joint win seminar. And I recall Erin Anastasi, who's now in Geneva, suggested having a meeting in which members would share asks with one another. So to get advice or help to achieve their goals. And we had another member who suggested that we support the Wikipedia project to increase the number of women biographies. And from these seeds, we developed the 2021 WIN program with a track on career and life development and another on life stories. And in January of this year, we kicked off the career and life track with a dreaming session that you mentioned earlier to share our New Year's resolutions, hopes, and ambitions for the future, and not just related to our career, but our lives. And during that session, Danijela and other members, including myself, shared their dream to write a book. And then through our program, we took that dream, this collective dream was nurtured. First, during the group coaching session, creating the conditions for your dreams to become reality with Kate Jones. And then later in our life story seminar with Sylvia Becker-Hill on the Untold Other Half, how we can add women's success to history books. And I remember being so inspired by what she said. And from this seminar, you, Marilena, and Sylvia launched this book project with many of our WIN members who work in international development and who have shared their struggles, their personal story and inspiring stories. Today, this collective effort has resulted in the publication of You Matter. And personally, I am amazed how within 6 months, 20 women with a common dream were able to realize not only their individual dream, but also WIN's dream to promote inspirational women's leadership. For me, the process that I've just described, which has resulted in the publication of the book You Matter, is what it means to matter. I started the Women's Informal Network in 2016 after attending an IFAD leadership training that taught me the difference between managers and leaders. I learned that while you may have the title of manager, that does not make you a leader, and that you can be a leader without being a manager. In fact, we can all be leaders. A leader is a person who inspires others with their vision or through their example. Leaders bring people together to realize their collective dream. You matter. Each and every one of us here today matters because we have our own unique experience and perspective that adds to the beautiful kaleidoscope of what it means to be a woman. Multifaceted, extremely colorful, and ever-changing. By sharing your story, you can inspire others and bring them together to move the world. So let me just take this moment to congratulate all of the inspiring authors of You Matter, and especially to you, Marilena, for making it all happen. You took a dream and made it come true. So thank you for allowing me to be part of the birth of You Matter. And I look forward to reading all of the stories, and I'm especially eager to work together with you, with all the women of WIN next year to realize their new dreams. So thank you, Marilena, so much.
Thank you, Chitra. Thank you for being such an inspiring person. And even now, you have really made a very inspiring remarks. Thank you. Indeed, leadership. This is personal, my personal interest, and my chapter, for those of you who have already bought the book, is about leadership. And the title of my chapter is The Power of Being a Woman Leader. And so talking about leadership and talking about the Women's Informal Network, and you mentioned the dreaming session with Kate. Danijela, do you want to tell us a little bit more about that dreaming session? And I will put up the slide.
Thank you, Marilena. And first of all, thank you, Chitra. I think we would not be here if it wasn't for you. And I just want to stress one thing in what you said, in that informality also. You might have some of these chance meetings, but then if you believe and if you're open-minded and open-hearted, great things can come out of it. So speaking of just briefly about the dreaming session, I just want to say a few words about Kate, because, you know, no baby is born alone. So we have many, many sort of co-creators, a catalyst to that. And this lady is one of them. Her name is Kate Jones. She unfortunately could not be here with us because she's in training, empowering more women as we speak. But she was one with whom I connected through poetry of all things. And we did a dreaming session, which kind of took us away from maybe typical goal setting and smart goals that we're used to in our work environment. She basically said, bring a pen, colored pens, and a piece of paper with no lines, and just draw what your heart sees and desires. And I remember that moment preparing for an interview for a big promotion, but my heart drew a book, and the heart doesn't lie, as they say. So to leave you with one quote that Kate impressed upon us is, whatever you dream you can do, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. And that's a quote from attributed to Goethe. And if Kate were here, she'll probably give you a big smile, but we invite you just to go visit her website, which we'll put in the chat. So perhaps she or maybe other women could also contribute to your dreams. Thank you. Over to you, Marilena.
Thank you so much, Daniela. And our book could not be published without the book publisher, right? So we have here with us, and as I said, it's 3 o'clock in the morning for her, Sylvia Becker-Hill from Vista, California. She has been the divine muse, I have to say. She has nurtured this project and helped to create a safe space for each one of us, and she was able to create a wonderful community of these most amazing women that all have something in common. Basically, we reclaimed our own power. So when we're talking about women's empowerment, we have to empower ourselves. And Sylvia is the inspiration for that. She's all about women's empowerment. Sylvia, good morning. Welcome here. It's such a pleasure to have you with us and this journey. And I'm so happy that you jumped on that flying carpet with me when I proposed to you this crazy project. And so Sylvia had created her own book publishing company in summer of 2020, but she created it to publish her own things. She was not thinking of publishing other people's books. And when I came with this idea, she was like, she didn't think about it 2 minutes. She jumped on it immediately. And now this is her core business. So Sylvia, do you want to tell us more about this and the whole process?
The muse is in the house. I want you all to take a deep breath. Put your hand on your heart. And when you can feel something beating in your body, then you know the muse is in the house. I'm not the muse. Every one of us has a muse. Maybe you call it differently. Maybe you call it intuition, higher self, your inner angel whisper, whatever you call it. It's about reconnecting with it. It's about when you are a self-declared leader, if you want to be a leader, if you want to grow as a leader, in my world, it is crucial, absolutely crucial, that you liberate your creativity. Yes, we are writing books. And one of my favorite quotes for myself is, it's not about the book. What? We are here for a book launch party and it's not about the book? No, it's not about the book as much as we celebrate it. It's about you, and you. Breathe it in and your amazing potential as a leader to make a difference in this world. And there's so much pain in the world intellectually, emotionally, physically, between people, between whole nations. We need your muse. And if you write or dance or cook or laugh, whatever it is in my world, your creativity is the divine spark which flows through you and out of your mouth and your eyes and your hands. Come on, everyone, clap your hands, wake up, clap your hands, clap your hands. All your nerve endings from your beautiful brain are ending here. Clap your hands. You know why applause is so important? It wakes us all up to our potential. Every time you applaud someone else, you're applauding your own muse. This is the most touching thing for me in our book project. No matter where we are from, Montenegro, Italy, Switzerland, somewhere in Asia, somewhere in Africa, somewhere in South America, in North America, it doesn't matter. My accent, I'm from Germany. I now live in wonderful, crazy California, where I had to go for my own healing of certain old trauma. It doesn't matter. We all have the divine spark of creativity, which I like to call the muse. So this project has changed me and my life and my business in a way that I'm still embracing and finding. I will forever, ever be grateful for the WIN community, for your beautiful coach who did the dream session with you, for your WIN founder, for you, Marilena, and the trust of all these women, because I tell you, there were weeks where I was a very tough German project manager and had to lovingly remind them on our, I don't call them deadlines any longer, our lifelines, our delivery dates, DD, delivery date. And here we are, all of you wrote in less than a month from zero. Some of you are published also, but most of you have never published anything. From zero to a full-blown chapter, and they all are over 3,000 words. Some went way over 3,500, and we had to brutally cut it down. When you take the lid of your beautiful creative self, you become unstoppable. And that's what I'm now about. And I made it my business, thanks to Marilena. I'm so honored. I'm so honored to work with all of you, and thank you everyone as guests who came here. Please help us spread the message. As a final comment from my side, how came I up with the title You Matter? It was very quickly and easy, present. I work for over 23 years in the corporate arena as an executive coach, leadership trainer. I've been around the world in so many different industries and worked with so many different teams. The number one pain, leaders, all of you are leaders, you need to hear that. The number one pain, all employees, it doesn't matter on which rank in the hierarchy, the number one pain I heard over and over and over and over again around the world is people believe they don't matter. People believe they don't matter. In Germany, we have the metaphor, we say, oh, I'm just a small wheel in a big machinery. Who am I to make a difference in this big organization? Who the F am I? Let's all take a deep breath, raise your hands and shake that old belief out. Shake this thought, this question, let's like push it away, get it out of your space. What? Who am I? Pff, let go of that. Who you are, you are the most magnificent, unique, divine spark. Thank you.
You are just incredible, Sylvia. I love you. Thank you so much for being you and for being the muse you are. So after this, let's have a quick peek into the book and our authors. 20 authors, all being coordinated by Sylvia. And she has gifted us with something very special. It's short, and I will play it now for all of you. I hope you will be able to also hear it.
Turn everyone your volume
Here we
up.
go.
Turn your volume up.
So, this morning, 9 o'clock in the whole world, starting from New Zealand, moving with the time zones, we have launched our book. And it has been such an incredible journey because we have tried to make sure that nobody would buy it before 9 o'clock because the excitement was so incredible that everyone wanted to buy the book when we were sharing our stories and our excitement. And so we had to keep down, and one of the husbands bought it before 9 o'clock because of the excitement. So it has been just an incredible journey, but now I believe it is the right time for buying the book. So if in between you go onto Amazon, that we will have also a book buying moment here in this call. So you have seen some of the faces of our 20 authors, and they are here today. And we would like to introduce them to you. So Danijela and I will take turns in briefly introducing them, and they will each have 2 minutes to share either something about their journey in this book project, or their core message of their chapter, or anything they would like to inspire you with. And we will start with Veronique. Veronique, please, you can share within 2 minutes, whatever you like with our audience today. Veronique, over to you. Veronique, are you here?
I'm here. I don't know if you can hear me. My system is almost down. So I just wanted to share with everyone that it was a great process. I've been working on the chapter, The Power of Being Yourself. I hope that you find it useful. It's not that easy to be yourself every day in all circumstances, while due to the society, we have been pushed to have a professional way of presenting ourselves, a professional way of saying, doing things, having a lot of models presented to us that we don't always feel comfortable with. We don't always feel that somehow they represent us. And then the book, through all the different authors, also shows the diversity of the world, the diversity of women, the diversity of styles, the diversity of stories. And this is very important because maybe the book offers to the reader enough diversity to find information, but also tips on how to find their own voice, how to define their own leadership style, but beyond leadership, how to carry on with your own life, being satisfied, loving yourself, loving others, and being happy. It might not be the lottery package, but at least that you wake up in the morning and you feel content, you feel satisfied, and you know that whatever you're doing it the right way. So I believe those voices in the book, through different stories, through different journey, shows that whatever difficulty you might be in, there is a way, there is light in the tunnel. It's all depending what do we want to do from our lives and how to look at it the brighter side rather than the darker side. But darkness is good too, because through those darknesses, through those painful moments, through those losses that we encountered, losses of our parents, losses of our children, losses of our loves, losses of our countries, losses sometimes of our dignity, because we have not been recognized as fully equal to others. Loss of our countries, if you're a refugee, loss of your universe, but still there is light in the tunnel. So it's all a question of remembering that even in the darkest time, you matter. Your life is meaningful. You're always appreciated by somebody. You're always important to the world, because you're like a star in the universe, and there are plenty of stars when we look at the sky. Some are brighter than others, but all makes that beautiful scenery. So thanks very much for being with us, and I wish you a good reading, if you can, on the screen, waiting for the paper copy on 3rd of December. Thank you so much, and kisses from DRC.
Thank you, Veronique. Merci beaucoup. And I'm glad that your internet back there in DRC has held up for us to hear your beautiful intervention. The next up, it's just a great honor. It's a great honor to call Chiara. When we talk about diversity, let's not forget age diversity, because we have them from the teens to the deep golden age retirement. And that also is another element that enriched our group. So Chiara, over to you to just give us some gold nuggets, and I have already a lot, so I would love for our audience to hear some of them. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Daniela. Thank you, everyone. I just wanted to share my experience and my chapter a little bit. So it was obviously my first experience in the world of publishing, especially with such a big and really strong community. So it was intimidating at first, that's for sure. But even the topic that the book deals with, every chapter is so personal that it is difficult to open up at the beginning, and just sharing struggles and problems that are close to your heart. It is a challenge, but that's what makes the book so special. Being able to talk about topics that are not talked about enough, in my opinion. And my chapter specifically is sort of a coming of age chapter. So it really, the reader is walked through my fears, personal fears, struggles, and doubts, obviously from a younger perspective. So from the perspective of an 18-year-old girl that has to face the first decisions and problems that life puts you through. But I remember talking to Sylvia, actually meeting her for the first time, and telling her what I wanted to share and the way I wanted to share it. So I used a really long stream of consciousness to kind of put it all out there, and alternating it with more descriptive passages. And she was so excited about it because she really thought that it was going to portray my younger perspective perfectly. So I'm glad I managed to add that in the chapter. And it obviously leads to, at the end, to a sort of epiphany, realization of self-awareness, of the importance of breaking free. That's the title of my chapter, is The Power of Breaking Free. So breaking free from the standards the society, as we can call it, puts you in, and breaking free from that sort of glass shell that you live in before facing problems, facing decisions in what it is and is going to be adulthood. So that's the message I wanted to share, and I hope you'll receive it. I hope you like the chapter and the book, obviously, and thanks to everyone.
Thank you so much, Chiara, and congratulations. I just received the news that we are getting to bestseller status. So at 18 years of age, you are a best-selling author, and this is so exciting. And you have the future in front of you, and it's just amazing. Thank you so much for being part of this, Chiara.
Thank you.
Well done for the courage. Now, the next speaker or the next author will be Rosamaría. Rosamaría from Mexico, please.
Buenos dias, all the way from Mexico. It is really early here. I am in my pajamas. It's dark. I am at bed, and I am ready to go to work. I'm going to take a shower, and my dream is to work with young people. I work in a beautiful school from people with all over the world. Thank you, Chiara, for just speaking, because my chapter speaks about the power of your archetypes. And I was not aware of that, but I realized that in some way I stopped perceiving or hearing to my archetype between the age of 12 and 28. And that's why I'm so interested in that the new generations really follow the unique voice of their heart or their muse, like beautiful Silvia just shared with us. So please remember that always the voice of your heart is there with you, no matter what, no matter where you are. You don't have to have like the perfect situation, or you can be in your pajamas, in your bed, or maybe you can be in not such a comfortable and privileged situation like the way that the one that I am in right now. So sending all my love, todo mi amor desde Mexico, and thank you, Maria Elena, for dreaming this. Thank you, Silvia, for bringing with your unique German structure, you know, this dream come true. I am for the first time at 48 a published author, and this is the perfect setting with other 19 women, and the book is about us, but it's about the rest of the planet. Thank you. Bye-bye. Buenos días.
Muchísimas gracias. That was really beautiful. The next one of our authors I would like to share with you is Haditha. It's very hard to know how to introduce Haditha, and I just have this vision of a big smile. So if you have a bad day, you just look at Haditha's picture and just the rainbow appears. And I will just let her share some of her rainbowness with us. Over to you, Haditha. And I hope we have her, because she is actually dialing at, I think, 3 o'clock in the morning or something like that. So I am not sure if I see her, but perhaps Marilena, you want to go with the next, and we'll give Haditha's smile a chance to wake up.
Yeah, okay. So here we go with another big smile, and with a super enthusiast of this project, Becca. Becca has an incredible background. And so I don't want to take away anything. Please, Becca, just introduce yourself and share your message, please.
Thank you all, and thank you for joining for Around the World. I'm here from Lugano, Switzerland, and I'm going to read you a quick piece of my chapter called The Power of Following Your Gut. And I'm going to start in a time in my life about 15 years ago. My friend and I had both always been interested in travel, particularly to different countries in Africa. The more we spoke about the possibility of going, the more real it became, and our previously hidden desires to work at a local NGO to help communities became solid plans for us to commit to. The first part of our trip, however, consisted of an overland adventure with about 25 people from around the world. We visited Kenya, Malawi, Mozambique, Rwanda, Tanzania, Uganda, Zambia, and Zimbabwe by driving around in a big yellow modified truck and camping at night. We saw the majestic mountain gorillas in Rwanda, had wildlife experiences throughout most of East African national parks, including the famous Serengeti, scuba dove in Zanzibar and Lake Malawi, and bungee jumped in the adrenaline-fueled Victoria Falls. However, it wasn't always this action-packed, and after our adventures, we flew to Cameroon to work at a local NGO. There we met many people from all over the world who in many ways were just like us, people trying to make a small difference in a small way. We spent our days teaching at a local school and creating a youth outreach program for kids in nearby villages for sports, education, and psychosocial support. The opportunities for what you could create were endless, and we took on as much as we could handle, despite the exhausting days. And for the first time in my life, I felt real purpose. I couldn't imagine going back to a different kind of life again. So thank you all very much. Have a good day.
Thank you very much, Becca, and thank you for sharing what's actually in the book. I think it's like an appetizer. Now I want to go continue and read more. So thank you for that. The next beloved author we have with us is Margarita, who is another one of those global people from Colombia living in Spain, and actually was recently right across the lake here in Nyon, on the Swiss side of the Lake Geneva. So I'm not sure where she is at the very moment, but I think you'll be delighted to hear from her. Margarita, ¿estás?
Thank you, Daniela. It's really great to be with this group of people here, because for us, I think we have been all very excited about this process. And I want to highlight the importance of being courageous, because all of us have written from our hearts. These short stories really show you what we are and what we have gone through. And it's the objective really is to share the fact that we all have an inner strength that will help us face whatever challenges we have in life. We just have to trust ourselves. And my chapter is the power of saying no. Some of you here know me and know that I'm very outspoken, very Latin in that sense, and that saying no has cost me a lot in my professional life. But there is some important part of our life that is our personal life. So here we have a few men, which is great, because I think the difficulties of saying no is for both men and women. And it's we have to really say what we think, and even at the cost of maybe a promotion, because I think that's part of our integrity and our principles. And I always felt it's only me that has to stick with my principles, nobody else. So I just want to say that this courage, we can all find that courage, and all of us will be able to have the surety, the assurance that we have made a difference to many lives around us. Even if we don't realize it when we are down, we should remember that. Just with a smile, just by inviting somebody to a coffee, it's so easy to make a difference. So that's why we all matter. Thank you, Daniela.
Thank you so much, Margarita. And it's indeed important also for us to be able to keep our work-life balance sometimes, to be able to say no and to keep on going. So thank you for this very important message. And I can't wait to read your chapter, everyone's chapter, because maybe we haven't mentioned this, but Silvia, our muse, didn't allow us to read the other chapters. We only know our own chapter. So today the curiosity was building up, and we were like just crazy because we wanted to read all the other chapters. We only know a little bit here and there, and we know the titles, but we don't know the content. So tonight, after everything is finished, we will start reading probably for 5 hours all the chapters. And now I have the pleasure to introduce you to Susanne. Susanne is a world citizen. She was born in the Caribbean, and she lives in Thailand, she calls that her new home. And she's just incredible. And this was not her first experience as an author. So Susanne, over to you.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I am actually in the US on holiday at the moment. As Marilena said, I actually was born in the Caribbean in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, but I grew up in South America. From there, I went to school in the US. I am now a Dutch citizen, the Netherlands. I live in Thailand, and most of my family now are here in the US, so I visit them quite often. My chapter is called The Power of Coping with Loss. experienced a very traumatic loss when I was just 9 years old. And I realized now how that loss has molded me into who I am today, what I do in terms of volunteering and helping others with health and wellness. My first publication was in 2007. It was also a co-author, but with my dad. He's now deceased, 2016. And in 2007, I published with him. He was a published author also. And this now is my second official publication. And certainly I am on a roll and will continue to keep going. And I am just amazed at the amount of people we have on this morning. And I am so happy to see you all. And the authors, the 20 of us, our publisher, and her support staff has been amazing through this project. We have been supported by Sylvia incredibly, like a baby in a cradle, but with respect and dignity. And it is what, you know, we all want in life. We want to be heard. We want to be told or to know and to feel that we matter. And this book, the title of it alone is what got me into it. And just the fact that also it's going to be, all the proceeds are going to go to charity is another reason I got involved in it, because for me, those are two very important things. So I just want to say thank you all for being here. Thank you for believing in us and for purchasing our book and for helping us get to bestseller status and to helping us help the International Rescue Committee. Thank you so much. Have a good and blessed day.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Susanne. And that was really deeply touching. And for all of us on the call, just to remember, like, life journeys are full of pains and successes and tears and joys. So that's what life is. And some of these chapters will take you in different directions. So we just thank you for sharing, and we hold space for Susanne's father and to all those who were before us and our parents and our forefathers and foremothers. That's why we're here today. The next person that I would like to call is our beloved Sarina, who is from Kyrgyzstan, currently living in Cairo. I mean, I just wish we could be, diagonally connecting the dots today, but over to you, Sarina, to tell us a bit about your chapter.
Thank you so much, Daniela, for this. I hope you can hear me well. Of all the days, today's network is a little bit strange, but I will try to manage. But good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone. It's such an honor to be here today. That I jumped on the flying carpet, just on time to join this amazing project. And I really, really thank Marilena from the bottom of my heart for really for inviting me to this project and to be in the company of amazing, really brilliant women. It's such an honor for me. I'm really humbled to be in this amazing company. My chapter is called Power of Building Your Own Doors. For me, it's also was opportunity to share a bit of my personal journey through life, and my from what I learned from life is that if the opportunity doesn't knock, then you build your own door. We all know the expression that says, when one door closes, the other opens. But it also means that we can decide to close a door and create our own new door, however tough it might be. We all, life is full of positive and sometimes dark moments, as also my other co-authors already said in their presentation. It's really, but it's all interesting, it's wonderful, and it's really present those moments when we have to make a decision, sometimes really tough ones. And we should not be afraid to restart, recharge, reroute, and it is possible, it is possible. So as Veronique said that also I was growing up, I'm originally from Bishkek, from Kyrgyzstan. I studied in Moscow, in Russia. And imagine just when you are 19, 20, there is the country that you know is no longer exist. Overnight, everything changes and you find yourself in the different circumstances. So this really presented so many things that you rethink, and there is opportunity to restart. And I have to say that I really enjoyed the support of the the community. And I just really want to say that the support group that we have is absolutely crucial for us. And thank you so much for having me. And I hope you will enjoy also the reading the book. And I also look forward to read other chapters that we didn't read until today. But thank you so much.
Thank you, Sarina. A true pleasure to be your colleague and your sister in writing. And another sister, she looks a little bit different from me, but our hearts look exactly the same. We have started working together in the amazing team of the strategic program on sustainable food systems. And today I see here the deputy strategic leader, Divine. It was such a true pleasure to be in the team together. And now we don't work together anymore, but we are still sisters. Wadzanai Garwe. Wadzi.
Hi, everybody. Makadini. I'm from Zimbabwe. I know we're running out of time, so I'm going to keep it very, very short. Why did I write? I wrote because of the misconception that Africans don't read. I was brought up to read. I was brought up to love adventure and stories and to just find myself. I used to lose myself in a book. In fact, my mother just the other day, she turned 78, was very, very cross with me because she said, even when Wadzi cooked, she had a book in her hand. I had to keep her, to sort of say to her, please finish your task and finish the book. So I write because women are not represented enough in literature. I write because African women are not represented enough in literature. I write because of the misconception that Africa has nothing to share. I write because everyone needs to hear the stories from different perspectives, because we are not the same. Yes, we all work in international development, we all work in corporate, we all work everywhere, but every single one of us has a story that is the same as anybody else. And when Marilena says we're sisters, we are sisters. When Danijela says we're sisters, we are sisters. When Susanne says we're sisters, we are sisters. We're sisters because even in this little group, this WhatsApp group of 20 women, we found so much synchronicity. We found so much similarity and difference. And we just came together as one. So why write? Write because you have to leave a legacy. And I will stop here.
Thank you so much, Asante. Wadzi, you are just beautiful. And you actually who inspired me to call this the Ink Blood family, because you were in the dreaming session with me and we connected over that dream, and that will just be forever united on these pages and these stories. So thank you so much. Before I get Celia already messed up mascara to me earlier, so I'm just gonna forget about that. But it is a great honor to introduce the next, or to invite the next person to speak. And that's my beloved Afshaan. Of all of the people in this project, she's the only one who I've actually hugged in real life, because we worked together. And we parted ways because I left the job and she moved countries, and you know how life goes. And here we are reconnected again. So dear Afshaan, also up at crack of dawn, are you with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Danijela. And thank you all for joining us. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of you. I'm so delighted that there are over 90 people joining us on this amazing, the culmination of an amazing journey that we writing sisters have undertaken in a very condensed period of time. I will read to you a short passage from my chapter, which is called The Power of Inner Strength. It in my chapter, I talk of 3 generations of women and different types of challenges that were faced. Before I do that, I just want to quickly give an introduction to myself. So I was born in India. My schooling started in Iraq. I then went to a boarding school, an international American boarding school in the Himalayas, after which I went to various countries. The longest stint of living in one place was in the Netherlands for over 20 years. I raised my daughter there, as you will see from my chapter. I'm currently in the United States, but I live in Rome ordinarily these days anyway. So I am, like most of us here, also a global nomad. So here is a small excerpt from my chapter. All right. Sorry, I'm just looking here. I got it. All around her, she heard talk about someone called Mahatma Gandhi. He was fighting for independence from the white British colonists who had controlled India for over 200 years. He had galvanized millions of people using peaceful protests, hunger strikes, and other acts of non-violent civil disobedience to demand that India be returned to the Indians. She didn't know what it all meant, but she could sense that everybody was dreaming of freedom and independence. And then she turned 10 and was told, "No more school for you. It's high time for you to grow up and learn how to be a respectable woman. No more going outside the house. No more books giving girls crazy ideas. From now on, you will stay home and learn to cook and sew, knit and clean so that you can become a good wife." And with that, they burned all her books. She was devastated. "Now I will be trapped here forever. I can never leave," she thought. But then a tiny little voice at the back of her mind said, "If an educated little man can get Great Britain to leave India, then you too can do something to get what you want. Yes, you can." And that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Afshaan. And I knew you, but reading your chapter, which is the first one in our book, I got to know you so much better, and you're such an inspiring person. So thank you so much for being here. Now, the next one, and unfortunately, our last speaker will be Rita Jo Laker-Ojok with her chapter, The Power of Becoming Mzungu Mucholi. Rita, over to you. Very briefly, please.
I know we have almost no time. So I just want to say thank you to all of the amazing women that I've had the pleasure to work with these couple of months, especially Wadzi, whom I've known for years and years, and who's been my sister throughout my journey. And I'll just read the first paragraph of my story, which is hopefully self-explanatory. I huddle on the cool earth in the darkness of the tiny round hut. Faint light glimmers around the edges where the grass-thatched roof meets the thick mud walls. The ragged beating of my 3 research assistants reveals their fear. Outside, an argument rages, indecipherable voices escalating in anger. My Land Rover pickup, loaded with bicycles and basic household supplies for establishing my research team in their respective villages, was just too tempting a prize. Shots ring out. How did I, a small town white girl from North Dakota, end up locked in a hut by a ragtag bunch of rebels deep in the bush of northern Uganda? And the story goes on to tell about my life living in community in East Africa for over 40 years. So I'm really looking forward to reading everyone's story because I know they're amazing. And thank you, and back over to you, Magdalena.
Thank you so much, Rita. Now, Daniela, I believe we have to stay within the hour because it's lunchtime. But for those that may stay a little bit longer, because we have some more authors that have prepared and would like to share their core message, we will go on. So we will finish the official part at 1. But so we will now move to the book purchasing moment to give you all the explanations about the royalties and what's coming up next, etc. And then we will continue with some of the other authors who are present here, with whomever wishes to stay on. Okay, so over to you, Daniela, for the book purchasing moment.
Thank you very much, Marilena, and thank you all the people who spoke. And Rita, you said something, we're running out of time. I think the time is just beginning. So let's look at this opportunity. It's the first day of the rest of our lives. So our book is available online. It's actually, I woke up this morning and we were #1 in the section of sociology and racial, I even forgot what is the title of it, but it looks very important, and woke up, we had big red #1 because people in New Zealand and Australia and Asia were busy while we were sleeping on this side of the world. So what we would like you to do, if you would like to do this with us, because I haven't purchased my own book yet, I was waiting for this moment. So if you want to join in, one thing you can do is you can take your phone or your iPad or whatever device you have and use this QR code. Or you can go in the chat and click on the link, which we will put in. I don't know, Marilena, if you're able to put it. If not, I'll do it in 1 second. Or you can just go to the link you see here and purchase the book. Book is currently available only in a Kindle version for the next couple of weeks. I know, like many of you, you want to hold the book, but please help us buy this book, because buying the Kindle version for just 99 cents, which is like about not even a cup of coffee in most parts of the world, you will help us get our goal. And that little sticker, #1 bestseller, is just a dream for now. But with your help, hopefully we can do it. And why are we doing this? It's not about a book, as Sylvia said. It's not even about me or about the rest of the 20 of us. It is about our shared humanity. It's about that girl that's looking at you right now, because that's what I wake up to every day thinking, why did I answer the call of duty and join the international humanitarian sector? Because as long as there are hungry girls out there and girls who don't get education or girls whose books getting burned, we cannot stop. So every single cent that we collect through sales of this book for now until eternity will go to International Rescue Committee and specifically to their program for refugee girls education. So this is why it matters. And this is why You Matter has become like our good morning, our namaste, because each one of us matters. So please join me. I'm going to do it right now with you. If you have already done it, of course, don't do it again, but you can. This is another beautiful thing of buying things in Kindle version. You can buy it as a gift, because let's be mindful of the fact that we have many, many colleagues in countries of the world where they hardly even have internet to download anything, or they may not have access to Amazon like we do in some other places. So this is a great way. I think one of our co-authors, Becca, today was actually buying books for her colleagues in Mali and in Sudan and in other places. So this is a great way also to, just with an email address, you can donate the book. Oh, great. Mine has just arrived. I think I'm gonna stop here and did anybody put a chat? Marilena, can you confirm? Did anybody put a chat? Oh, we're having done. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Katarina. I'm not sure where you're dialing in from, but really appreciate your support. And at the bottom here, you see thank you in many languages. Thank you, merci, danke, hvala, grazie, asante, merci, spasibo, gracias. I mean, I speak half of these languages, but not all. Shukriya, obrigado, shukran. This is basically all of us 20 authors in all the languages we speak collectively, saying thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for purchasing the book. And as Marilena says, we're at the top of the hour, so we will kind of officially stop here, but we will hang on. And there's a couple more authors that would like to share something with you. So Marilena, you are the master of Zoom. I will let you walk us through all of that. I think nothing happened at the top of the hour, so I guess we're good, right?
Yeah, no, nothing is going to happen until I close the meeting.
Power, claim your power, girl.
Exactly. But being conscious of the time of everyone who has joined, I would like to thank you all for joining us, for supporting us in buying the book, for being here, for being our friends, for buying the book also for your daughters, your friends, your mothers, whomever you like to get inspired through our book. And with Silvia, we are already thinking of the next book. And so if you are interested in becoming a best-selling author, just get in touch with us. You know how to reach us. And especially, I would also like to thank all the ones who supported us during the project. And it has been just an amazing journey to see how the universe has basically brought everything together, and we have faced many difficulties during these 6 months, no? But still, somehow things were happening, and everything came like a puzzle, a huge puzzle. Every piece knew where it belonged, and so thank you very much. But I will not say goodbye yet because we will continue. And our next speaker is. Ciao, Chitra. Thank you for joining. Our next speaker is Celia Fleury. She is connected from Switzerland, and she is on a big mission in her life. She is on the mission for empowering women. And so I'll just allow you to introduce yourself, Celia. Please go ahead.
Wow. Hi, everyone who is still here. Very honored. I thought I'd make it very, very short, and now I didn't know I'm here. I'm from Switzerland. I coach women. I'm very close to Silvia's vision, our vision combined, because and that's most probably why I have been crying this whole hour long. Tears were just flowing down my face because the energy in this room is so beautiful and so inspiring. And I'm extremely humbled and honored to have been part of this journey, and to have now 20 plus friends. And I'm very much looking forward to tonight when I finally get to hug Wadzanai, Garwe, who is here too, in Rome, because I will be in Rome tonight. What I want to give you, and I really ask you to listen to this short sentence that is the beginning of my chapter, because it is so important that it has to be repeated over and over again. It is absolutely stunning that you exist. You and your being with all its flaws, you are unique and beautiful. Please know that you matter. Thank you.
I love you, sweetheart.
Thank you. Oh, sorry, I'm crying again.
Yeah,
no apologies for crying.
There has been a lot of crying here throughout the past 6 months today. It's just the emotions are so big. Daniela, you may want to introduce our next speaker.
I think I lost train of thought.
Okay, we have Haditha Hamadi, who just connected. We had introduced you earlier because we had you first on our list, but now here you are, Haditha, over to you.
Okay, Haditha, I just wanted to say something. I was just crying, and then when the name Haditha, gets mentioned, or I see you on the screen, I just automatically smile, because that's the power you have over me, So I just go. Your turn.
Thank you. Merci. Thank you, everyone. I'm sorry, I had a connection earlier, but here I am. So my name is Haditha Hamadi, and I'm one of the co-authors. I'm so humble and honored to be, just like all the women presented earlier, very honored to be here. And the title of my book is The Power of Choice, the power to choose your destiny, the power to choose what you want to do, and to do it without being a rebellion, but being aligned with your values and still being caring and gentle while doing it. And I think that was the difficult part for me, because it's choosing to do something that is completely not necessarily what your parents want you to do at first, but my mission was to try to convince them that it was still okay for me to choose this way, and I didn't need to be in necessarily harsh battle doing that. And so because I'm all about caring, compassion, no judgment, and love. And that was the focus. The focus was, how can I still be kind in a world where everybody wants to be all harsh and tough and all that? And is that really impossible for me to succeed with kindness and with caring? So I learned that I can, and I learned that I will, and that's going to be my mission. My focus, really, what I love is talking about parenting, and everything I do is all about it. So yes, you can be a parent and being strict with love, with being have a clear vision with love and caring. So all of the story is going to be sharing all of that, and I am French. I'm French. I was born in France. My parents are from Comoros Island, and I now live in America. So it's those three different aspects of my identity that I'm making sure I'm bringing, and to still make it beautiful and strong. So making sure that I keep my tradition as a Comorian, which means being Muslim, being Black and woman, then have my identity as a French because I grew up there, and bringing all of that here with my three kids in America who are teenagers, and explaining to them where they came from, and to still keep that in their heart. And it's a challenge, but it's something that I'm willing to fight for because it's important. That's it. Thank you, everyone.
Merci beaucoup, Haditha. That was really, really beautiful. I'm so glad that you persisted with the Gods of Technology and you were able to join us. Thank you so much for doing that. The next speaker is, I get like nervous to introduce her because she's one of the tour de force in our group, because she is a published author. She's just somebody whose linguistic expertise and style and knowledge and nurturing women's writers I respect very, very much. An honor to have her in our group. And her name is Sally, and she's dialing in from Siena, Italy, if I'm not mistaken. And just to tell you, newsflash, we are #1 new release in Italy among the foreign language books. And now that's two categories: sociology and race relations, and foreign languages. English is obviously a foreign language in Italy. So over to you, Sally, on that note.
Hey, thank you. I think we made it bestseller because everybody in my Italian family bought the book. So
yes, even your husband breaking the rule and buying early, wasn't he the one?
Yeah, exactly. So thank you, ladies. We've done our job well. I'll just be really short. It's just been wonderful to be a part of this group. And sometimes you've written something that's very hard to put out there into the world. I wrote a book-length version of the story that I've included in the You Matter book, and it's still not out there because sometimes you just need a process of gathering courage and gathering strength before you're ready for that. So for me, it's been a really wonderful experience to be able to share what was for me a really personal story inside the context of this project, where I had the support of 20 other women with me, and my voice wasn't alone. So I think that I'll just close with that. My story was about the power of letting go, and just to say sometimes there are things in your life that you're hanging on to so tight, and that this is keeping you stuck and blocked. And in my case, it was harming my relationships. And so the thing that I learned is that yes, there was something I needed to let go of in my life, an object, a circumstance, but what I really needed to let go of were some things inside of myself. So that's what my story is about: letting go, changing, and moving forward, and helping a family to heal in that way. So thank you all.
Thank you so much, Sally. And you have coordinated some of the writing workshops for us. And it was a true pleasure to be guided by you also with your expertise in writing. So looking forward to reading your chapter as well. I believe we are through the list because I do not see Taco. Taco, are you here on the call? Taco is a colleague from FAO. She is managing the gender team in FAO. She's an amazing person, an artist, and the book author, but I don't see her. So this leaves Danijela and me here as the last two authors. Danijela, would you like to share your bit, please?
Thank you, Marilena. I was thinking about what to say, but then I'll probably get all over emotional again. So maybe I'll just read a little passage. And this is the passage actually that when I submitted my chapter, I got pictures of my chapter with highlighter and comments from Sylvia. And this is the one where she highlighted and made like really nice comments. I'll read you that one. And it goes like this. It's in the middle of the chapter. If you're invisible to others, at least be visible to you. In the name of our mothers, practice compassion and love. Stand up for what you believe is right and disapprove the wrong. Defy in the ways you know how. A rose defies with her sweet fragrance, not with an army of prickles. Lilac defies with her strong roots. Options may allude to freedom, yet freedom and autonomy tend to be confused. The choice between good and the bad is never a difficult one. It is difficult choosing between two good things, whereby choosing one eliminates the other, or choosing between two bad things, hoping for a lesser evil. That is when true character shows. My remarkable women did not have autonomy, but they remained defiantly free because no one completely conquered their souls, and no one ever will. Love was the only compass I ever needed in finding my sense of peace and purpose. When you matter when and only when you begin to matter to you. Nobody can silence your heartbeat. Nobody can make it sing either, but you. Your sense of freedom is directly proportional to how safe you feel being unpopular. And in my chapter, I do mention a bit about my mother, whom I sadly lost when I was just a young girl, and my grandmother, who was illiterate and didn't even know that girls are not sent to school. And I'm talking about Europe in the beginning of last century, so it's not that far ago. So that's just sort of a little piece of what I wanted to say, and just an incredible, this has been an incredible journey. I will not go into it. I just invite you to read the book. I think the best way to get to know us is actually read what we put out there, because many of us say more with silence and ... than what we actually express. So just take the time and read it. You can read it in any way. And I know those of you who want the book, I've been carrying this around for the past couple of months because Sylvia, to motivate us, the power of vision, the power of dreaming, the power of tangible, I printed this and wrapped another book in it. And I've been going to bed with it. And my teddy bear now knows it. Because it matters, it's a legacy. It's for those of us who don't have children, it's a child, but even for those of us who have children, it's a second or third or fourth child. So it does matter. You matter. If that's one thing you want to take away from me in the end of the day, when you look at the mirror every day, when you're down, when you lost a job, when you lost a family member, when you feel you're not pretty and your hair is not the way it's supposed to be, when your mascara is running down, you matter. Remember that and be well. Thank you. Over to you. Well, actually, Magdalena, Maria Magdalena, I want to call you by your full name, as in the book, because you're now a published author, Miss Heinrich, I should call you that. Your chapter, I'm dying to read, but I haven't yet. And I'm going to read with my highlighter, even on my iPad, my Kindle. What do you think I'm going to be highlighting from your chapter? What would you like me to highlight in your chapter?
Well, there are different passages, and as you said, Sylvia Becker-Hill, when I first sent my script, my manuscript, she sent back WhatsApp pictures with highlights. And there were several, and I was like, and she said, this needs to be bold, and this needs to be highlighted, this needs to come up. And I was like, yeah, wow. And I felt really proud, you know. So I will be reading the beginning, because the beginning of my chapter explains.
Marilena.
Christine, you're here.
I am.
Okay, so then you go first, and I will go last afterwards. After you, Christine, I'm so happy to have you. Thank you so much for shouting out. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Okay, I'm Christine, and my chapter title is The Power of Chapati. I would like to say something very little about why the power of chapati. And I started my chapter by saying, when you see success, know that it is a result of not giving up on one's dream. While many will look at you as a successful person, they do not know what there is and what you have gone through. So with this chapter, I would like to share that something that you do not know, that the skills I learned in the kitchen, a place, many times it's downgraded and seen as a woman's place, but it helped me in the time of need. The chapatis that I prepared contributed to paying for my master's degree and have contributed to my excellence and where I am now. I hope you'll enjoy reading the chapter and the book. And thank you very much for this humble opportunity. Asante sana. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Christine. I'm really glad that you made it and that you're here and that you gave us your core message. So, is there anyone else that we missed that is online and would like to share the core message?
I was looking through the list, Marilena, but
people are coming and going, no?
I don't think, well, if you have, please shout. This is also opportunity to reclaim your power and speak. As you guys see, when we do something, we co-create. So Marilena and I kind of had a little script and a little thing, but you know, then in the end of the day, everything kind of goes with the flow. So if there is somebody here among the authors who we have missed, I don't think I see anybody else, Marilena, but.
Okay, so I will go next then.
Yeah, please do, please do. I have my highlighter ready, so just go.
So my chapter, as I mentioned in the beginning, is about women and leadership, because this is my passion, coordinating the women's informal network. And the purpose of that network is to promote women's leadership, to strengthen women's managerial capacities. And so the title of my chapter is The Power of Being a Woman Leader. I am a woman and I am a leader. And you, what about you? I bet you're doing amazing things, yet still don't consider yourself a leader. Let me hazard a guess. Maybe you're not leading a company or a big team. It all depends on our unique perspectives from which we look at things. How is leadership defined? If you search the definition of leadership online, you will find many different definitions. Personally, my definition is that I see leadership as, and this you can highlight and write now down, the ability to inspire and lead others towards a common goal or desire, with the ability to empower people and help them seek their own ways of achieving these goals and encouraging them to always let love lead. And this is precisely my personal goal for co-authoring this book. And I will tell you how I discovered how to be a leader and what it takes to become a leader. And my wish for you is that you may realize that you already are a leader and the important role you have to play as a leader, because you matter.
Thank you very much, Marilena. That just absolutely beautiful. I'm actually writing down, empower, encourage, ability. I think you start with that ability that we have, ignite, lead. But the core thing that I got of that is seek your own ways, because sometimes the quickest way from A to B sometimes is via Rome or via Vista, California, or whichever way you go. I think just start. I think that's the most beautiful thing. And when we think about leadership, I think we are all women who've been struggling, particularly in our international organizations, even in our own businesses, to kind of climb that ladder. But oftentimes we don't come from a place of strength, which is, I'm a leader in my kitchen. I'm a leader as in my community. I'm a leader in my church or in my wherever I am. I'm a leader, and this is why leader does not equal manager. I think we're going to have that as a sticker to put on bumper stickers around. Not to knock down management, because that's an absolutely. I spent half of my life studying management, and I think it's important. So if you're responsible for people and money and all of that, it's a skill. But being a leader, it's about inspiration. It's about getting someone to join you, not necessarily to follow you, but to join you, to even sometimes go ahead, sometimes go behind, but we go together to make the world better. So Marilena, when I think of a leader, I don't need to look further than you. And we're really honored that you're co-leading this chapter of Win in Rome. I'm doing the same in another amazing group of women in New York, and we're connecting the dots in and out. I don't know if you have anything else. There's one little thing I wanted to mention, Marilena, but I can save that for last. So if you want me to say it now, but I have one thing on my list that I must say before we close. So up to you.
Please go ahead, Danijela.
What I really wanted to say, and I'm incredibly pleased and happy that we have some men on this call, because we're not going to change the world by, men doing something wrong and then women crying about it and wanting to fix it and the other way around. We're going to change this world together. This is how universe ordained, that we take care of house, we take care of children. Every child has a mother and a father, one way or another, right? And now there's blended families and there's all sorts of things out there, but it takes a co-creation. Neither one of us can create alone. And I think this is how nature ordained. So for those men who are here, and also for those men who have been instrumental in helping me to be here, and the bosses and managers and teachers who actually believe that I too can do something, I just want to honor you today. And I want to thank you for being here. And I've seen Mr. Torisi, who is here with us. I've seen Mr. Ndiay, Darko, Michelle, their partners here, their colleagues here. So those of you, whether you're a father or not, whether you have a sister or not, whether your mom is still around or not, remember the women are in your life. And sometimes they just need for you to know that you see them. You may not approve, you may not like, we may be a little bit wearing crowns or having drums or maybe look unconventional sometimes or shaking things sometimes. It's just because all we want to do is just let the world know that we're here and we're capable. And we're not anonymous. We've been anonymous for centuries. Many books you read out there that have anonymous, there's a woman behind them. Many men authors, when you really look behind, there's a woman who actually had to change the name just for her book, for her own thoughts to be published, for her recipe books to be published. So I just want to thank you for being here. And I hope you're not only here just for this event. I hope this is also a sign of that you're helping us on this journey to co-create together and to make this world better. But I just want to honor you and thank you and do a Sylvia thing and give yourself a big hug and a big applause for being here, because that's what change and that's what leadership is. Thank you very much. Over to you, Marilena.
Thank you so much, Danijela, for mentioning our male friends and colleagues. Indeed, also in the Women's Informal Network, we have allies, male allies, and they are mentors for the mentoring program that I run. And it's very important because ultimately the new era, we have seen it in the video that we ran for our book, the trailer. A new era is emerging. And that is that the patriarchy is over. We aim for a true gender partnership where women and men can work together harmoniously and where the power that we have been talking about today is equally distributed. And so I'm very happy to see Pier Francesco Torrisi here. He is actually organizing something amazing. And I would like to invite him to briefly introduce the project that he's running. And we will have with Veronique, she facilitated this connection, a big event on the 19th of November. So Pier Francesco, please, over to you.
No, thank you so much for this opportunity. First of all, I want to say thank you to you, Maria Magdalena, of course, to Veronique for this space, and congratulations for this book. Voices of women are being suffocated for many years. And it's very emotional for me to be here, and the job you're making was amazing. And so thank you for this. It's a huge signal to everyone, for the community, and congratulations. The first place is not casual, is as a word that you deserve it. So congratulations for this. We are making this hackathon for this. We will, on the 19th of November, we will have several tables where women and men all together, of course, they will talk about how, especially for not only for Italy, but for a general contest, how to find solution to give the chance to emphasize the voice of women and find out solution for all those women and men have been put it aside in the society. We will have 4 tables. One of these is multiculturality, diplomacy, and international security. So I wish you can join this table in the afternoon from 3 o'clock to the 6 o'clock Rome time. In the morning, we will have an opening with many important women, like, for example, Michela Murgia is one of the most famous activists in Italy. And of course, many other representatives from WPFO and other people. So thank you so much. I'm waiting for you. I don't want to waste a lot of time. So hackathon for women's empowerment on 19th of November. Thank you so much. Thanks to all of you.
Thank you, Francesco, for your presence and for inviting us to the hackathon. Can you share maybe the link in the chat so that our friends and colleagues here present can sign up and get more information about it? It will be a brilliant opportunity. And we have Chiara, our youngest member, and we were thinking with Veronique, we need to get Chiara out there to speak to the young people. And so it is a true pleasure. And Veronique, thank you very much for facilitating this amazing opportunity. So like this opportunity, we are looking for other opportunities as well. So if you have your networks, if you have your friends, if you're having a blog, if you, please, now it's about sharing, sharing, sharing. We have to make sure that this book gets to every woman and man so that they can get inspired by our stories, but not only by our stories, also to further write their own stories and change the world, because that's what we are ultimately looking forward to improve the world. And we have seen at COP26 all the talks about the fact that we need to act now because we only have one planet. There is no plan B or planet B, right? So we have to work all together collectively. And there, the importance of the role of women was mentioned. And in particular, also by Italy, by the Italian government, the important role of women. So it's everywhere. Now we need to make it happen. And I believe that this book publication today is the first step, not the first step, but it's a big beginning, let's say. And so we really rely on your sharing, reading the book, giving it as a present for Christmas or for whatever holidays you have or what you believe is appropriate. And we will also be organizing a big internal FAO event with the Women's Committee. And so similarly to this event, now we are 1.5 hours, but it can also be 1 hour only. We can try to make it happen in 1 hour or even more, 2 hours, 3 hours. And we have another big party tonight 8 p.m. Rome time. And Silvia, I would like you to talk about it because that's the one that you will be hosting. And it's going to be a global launch event. Please.
Can you hear me, my dear?
Yes.
So at 8 p.m. European time for two hours, 90 minutes minimum, maybe 2 hours, we will do something similar here. There will be a slight overlap of authors there and some other authors because of time zones who can join better at that time zone. And in the center, so after around half an hour, we will go together through a guided process. So if you like to join us, please make sure you have some blank piece of paper and some colored markers. I will guide you through a creative exercise I could like to call your dream of authorship. And that is not focusing on the book you potentially want to write. It will focus on your authorship as a leader in your life. And what if your life were a book? What title would it have? And what is the title of your next chapter? So I hope you will join me. It will be interactive, it will be fun, and definitely make sure you bring something to drink. I will have here, I don't drink alcohol, but I have here my Monster drink. And so I'm symbolically pouring this already in because the whole day for me is a party. And I'm toasting to all of you who came here today, and especially Danijela and Marilena. Thank you for your amazing facilitation, for all the authors and all the guests, and especially the men, because I think that's so important nowadays to underline, to emphasize. Feminism is not a woman's issue. Feminism is a movement of men and women who together in partnership are committed to create a world that works for everyone. And this is why we are all here. So toast, cheers. Hope to see you soon.
Cheers.
And in a few seconds, I put in
and
the link.
My husband and my ally is here. He just gave me champagne, and I wish to cheers to everyone here present. May you be healthy, happy, and satisfied. And may you see the leader that you are, because you matter. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Cheers.
Thank
you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Grazie. Merci. Спасибо, Sarina.
Daniela, can you make one
Daniela,
final
Papa.
screenshot? I would love to have a screenshot.
We were running screenshots all the time.
I think we have people.
But we should have one now also with the drinks.
All right, turn your cameras whoever is around, and let's be drinking at noon on Friday. Why not, right? There's so long.
And hold the glasses in front of your body so they are visible despite green screen.